you know what? They can hear us, but they can't see us. So there we go. All right, now they can see us.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
they can see us now.
And they can hear us.
Can you see us now?
Miss this. Miss the funny faces.
Woohoo.
Welcome to A.M.O.K. Adrian.
Oh, well,
all
where
yours
are
for a
you
moment.
going?
Well,
Oh, then
I'm
why is it
sitting
going
there.
to Adrian?
what?
I'm so confused.
Well, I said
Well,
it's. I
he
guess
usually talks about the
I'm
billions of
sorry.
users.
the
Or I'm sorry.
Abusers.
Abusers,
What?
viewers.
Abu-
It came
all
out
the-
wrong. I had to correct that.
Oh,
Wow.
my.
Okay. I'll speak for Adrian. Adrian,
And-
just move your mouth. Ready? Welcome to A.M.O.K. Thank you, billions of users, for
You might
watching
want to
us
watch
tonight.
that, Adrian. He could pop something in there that you might not want.
Hey. Yeah, no. No, it's just one of those things. Hey, life is good. Life is good. Hey, did you guys get wiped out by the storms that come through at all? Or
There was some.
it was Fast and Furious down here. It just went black and
That's
everything
what I
went
did
sideways.
here.
And
I did it here about 10 o'clock this morning.
yeah,
Yep.
coming a little later to us. But yeah, it's no good. I didn't care for it. Everybody's safe. Everybody's happy. We're all here. Life is
Pam ain't
good.
here
Everybody's
yet. I
working.
don't know what
We
she's
can see
doing.
people. We can hear people.
I have no
What?
idea.
Where'd she go?
I believe she
Did you
is.
not
Yeah,
notice there's only
you
6
got
heads
confused.
here?
Well,
She froze up and then
Oh,
she
it is.
disappeared.
it helps when I look at the show too, huh? That's all right.
Oh, her Wi-Fi
That's
is being
okay.
janky.
No.
So
No.
wait a minute. That's okay because see, last week was my show and my guest had problems coming on, and she wasn't on till we was a half hour into the show. So at least we have all the guests, but we don't have all of us. So we're just
A.M.O.
A.M.O. Hey,
That's
did
almost
you-
like an emu, but
you say a
different.
moo? Did you just call me fat?
It wasn't me.
No, that's what
Oh
we
my
were
God,
to
that
eat
was
the other day. Moose and
That was
Mike's,
the
remember?
fanciest barbecue place I have ever eaten. All the barbecue places I usually go are like wood and rustic and like Western looking. This one was like little beautiful fancy fountain in the middle with big huge mirrors on the wall and a big long fancy table. And I'm sitting there going, it's gonna be
Could have had tails on top
expensive.
hat.
But no, it was actually a decent price. I was shocked.
It was decent.
Yep,
Yeah,
it was really
all
good
right.
though.
But-
Okay. Shall we begin? Welcome to A.M.O.K again.
I'm up again.
A.M.O.K again. Well, I'm going to introduce
Probably
my
should.
friends here. We've been friends. Okay. We've been friends for about, I guess, about what, 8 to 10 years, something like that. And we've investigated many, many places during that time frame. And I'd like to introduce the world, the 8 billion, how many ever billions of people we have watching tonight, to my life and pair of friends, Karen, Patty, and Andrea. And I know that because their names were underneath them, which is all correct.
Oh, that was
Shaw,
them,
so
not
thank
me.
you. And
Good job.
oh, okay. Thank you, ladies.
Okay.
Forget you, Shaw, this time.
Fine.
Anyway, they know themselves as the Three Amigas. I had to feminize it, if that's okay. That was Karen's suggestion. So
I couldn't think of anything else to call us. I mean, we're not in a group. We're just pals.
That
We just,
works.
right?
Just.
ladies?
We're
so I
fiercely
could have-
independent.
So I could have just said
The
the justs are all here tonight.
Yeah, you coulda. Uh-huh.
Okay, well, I
You-
didn't. I
guess-
didn't know.
It did.
Anyway, ladies,
Kind
welcome
of.
and thanks for joining us tonight. I think we're going to
Thank
have a
you.
little bit of fun. And I guess so that everybody kind of knows a little bit more about you. You want to each take turns and just, or you can talk all at once, doesn't matter.
That'd be kind of fun.
Give a little bit of background about yourself, how long you've been investigating, a little bit about your life and what kind of got you into or piqued your interest in the paranormal or whichever aspect of the paranormal that you want to talk about. Shall we go left to right, right to left, center? We'll go Paul in. Patty, you're up.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd say I started having some experiences as a child. My grandmother sat on the bed long after she'd left this realm. And I've seen probably 4 or 5 apparitions throughout my
Wow.
life. Surprisingly enough, 3 or 4 of them were during the daytime. So don't ever let anybody tell you not to investigate during the daytime, because you just never know. And usually you think it's a person, right? But I'd say I met Andrea probably 2009, 2010. She's the fact person. She usually helps me out with dates. But we started going down, seeing a man named Dr. Henry in St. Charles, and he had a little paranormal group and kind of taught people. He had done tours in Main Street, St. Charles. And it's just grown from them for me. From then for me, it went right from Dr. Henry to Orbs to another group to now we're just all independent and enjoy investigating with the friendliest people we can find, which apparently is a lot of the
Yes.
paranormal society is.
That's a lot of good
friendliness is
friendly
the
people
middle.
out there. Sure
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
who we all hang out with.
Yep.
I totally agree with that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Dr. Henry, he's kind of interesting character, isn't he?
He is a character,
He's
yes.
very, very good historian, I think.
Mhm.
And many people don't know it, but he's also a magician.
Ooh.
Did you guys know that?
Magician, a professor, a
Professor, yep.
guide, a paranormal
Mhm.
investigator, you name it.
Tells
I'm
some
kind of
pretty-
a magician.
Me
I can make money disappear.
too. I can make coffee
Me
disappear
too,
too.
yeah.
Crazy.
For sure.
I can make coffee disappear
Mm.
pretty good too.
You can make tea disappear really well too.
I can, all over the floor.
Apparently, I can
All over the floor
pop
last
right in
week.
and out of Zoom.
Thanks for bringing up old wounds.
Oh, it's okay. I've
Isn't there
been
a song
expecting,
called Cry Me a River? or something like
retribution
that?
here.
Oh, I know. Before we
Oh,
get too
go ahead.
far into it, Ken wanted us to share an embarrassing moment. Well, it probably wasn't embarrassing for him, but I was a little freaked out. First time I met Ken and we were investigating a place called Tai Denoy in St. Louis County.
Oh yeah.
And here was this man I had never met before, and he was walking around with his headgear and all this. I didn't really notice the earphones at first, but I thought, why is this man just walking around talking to himself? And you were just doing your thing, which we all are very comfortable with now. And we find it's endearing, let's call it that. But at the first time I met you, I thought, okay.
Who is this
Let's see.
weirdo? Yeah.
This is
Mhm.
what is he doing? I've never seen anybody do this before. And now I've actually experienced wearing the headphones, listening to the sounds as I go and talking or saying what I'm hearing. And it's I enjoy it too.
Yeah, you just plug it directly into your recorder, and that way you can hear exactly what maybe not everything, but
It's a little disorienting sometimes.
it can be, especially if you're
Mhm.
walking around with a spirit box connected to your recorder, connected to your headphones. It's like, oh, yeah.
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 And that place we're talking about, that is actually one of the oldest places in my area, actually North County of St. Louis. It's up in the Florissant area. The inside of the building up is right there by McClure North, or McClure, right?
Right there off
Right-
Lindbergh. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Wasn't it?
Washington.
Washington. Okay.
Washington and 270, right? It's right behind the,
I was saying, see the highway practically. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Anyway, I lived about a block from there growing up. But anyway, apparently that building that was inside of it was located where the bridge that crosses 270, Highway 270, the Washington Elizabeth exit. And then that was back in the 1700s. And then they built another building around it. But the original building was inside of it, correct?
I believe that the basement at least was original, and then I don't remember it being built around it. That's
See, I think
something I
that's
don't recall.
That's what
You, Andrea?
Mike had told us that,
Okay.
or Ron, one of the two of a different group. So
Yeah.
anyway, Andrea, do you remember that?
I've never been there. I wasn't
Oh.
at that investigation.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We'll have to talk about another one
You
then.
go try there. Okay. How about Crystal Grill?
There
I
you go.
think we participated in. You did that one too, didn't you, Andrea?
I did.
Mm-hmm. That was
one.
super.
Karen, did you?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Andrea and I were in a group called Orbs. That was 6 women. I think it was 6, right? And that was right after we finished exploring with Dr. Henry. And we just started doing our own houses and stuff like that. And I'm sure Andrea's got some stories about that. But we actually, you can pretty much get evidence almost anywhere you go. At least either that or we just all lived in haunted houses. I'm not sure which. My favorite guy was Albert. He lived in my condo that I lived in at the time when we started doing this. And he would smoke in the basement and he would peek at me from around the door. And his funnest activities were to loosen up my pipes under my sink.
Oh,
And so they would
no.
leak.
Oh,
One
Oh, my
time we
gosh.
were actually investigating and he turned on the water in the bathroom. So we were all in another room. Everybody was accounted for, and all of a sudden the water, and I'm like, I hear water running, and I'm like, oh, what did Albert do now? I thought it was a full flood or something, but no, he just turned the water on in the sink that time, not loosened the pipes.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
Wow.
that was fun.
Aw.
That's
I miss
crazy.
Albert. I wish he'd came with me. Well, except for the water part.
Yeah, man, you're increasing my
Oh,
water bill.
gosh.
Stop that.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Water is
especially
not
during
cheap.
droughts.
Write out a bill and put it on a table.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
See,
But I
I'm
counted
haunted,
up
but
approximately 60 places or so in Missouri that we'd done at different times. Some good, some not so good, but there's a lot of places. You just can go to a cemetery. We found a lot of times we would go and set up our grids, which is how that was kind of funny, but that's how Dr. Henry believed you should take photographs, was to set up grids in a room and then photograph from all angles. And then as the night goes on, repeat that every so often to see what differences or changes you might find.
that's a really smart
Like-
technique.
It's a great technique, but it's so time consuming for
Well,
your
yeah,
investigation.
but what else are you gonna do?
Well, if you
Now
go to
we
the more
have
spiritual
fun.
aspects of it, you try to connect with who's there by just kind of opening up and things like that, which is I've found to be a little bit more enjoyable than
Mhm.
trying to sort through, I don't know, 80 pictures of one room from all the angles and not finding
Well,
anything.
that's always been Tina's job. She does it. She'll go through the picture and she'll very painstakingly do it. But
It is.
but it, you know, that's how you find things, and you see, well, that's moved, that's moved, that's moved. And we may not take as many pictures, but we'll do that periodically through the night or during an investigation. We're like, hey, what happened to that?
Yeah.
And it's like,
We'll always take 3 pictures in a row, right?
mhm,
Click, click,
It-
click.
yeah.
At least 2. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, one thing I failed to do, and I apologize to everybody. I think some of you may know Adrian from a few years ago at one of the conferences. So Adrian is in the square that I'm going to point to right here.
Mine don't have any.
Shah is well, she's got the Neptune shirt on, right? I know, I see it, Uranus. And Pam is over here. Shah's from
I
Oklahoma. Pam is
live
from
in
Kansas.
Oklahoma. I'm
and
from
Adrian.
LA,
Meet y'all.
Lower Alabama.
And Pam is apologetic. I have janky internet tonight. I don't know what is going on.
It's like
but
that Ron White skit.
Sorry.
I was drunk and you threw me in public. I was drunk in the bar.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I live in Oklahoma. I'm
Patty, thank-
from Alabama.
Oh. As she said,
Yep,
lower
LA.
LA, right?
Lower
Mhm.
Alabama.
LA, lower Alabama. Anyway, Patty, thank you. You kind of mentioned Andrea's name a few times. Andrea, you want to jump in and kind of take over and tell us about yourself?
Sure. So I became interested in ghost hunting. Well, I think I was 7 years old and I remember being in my friend's backyard and my friend said, "Do you know ghosts are real?" And I said, "Oh, cool, really?" And she said, "Yeah." She said, "Our parents just tell us they're not, so we won't be scared." And ever since then, I've been interested and ghosts. And I dug out my old notebook here, and I started this notebook in 2001, but I really didn't investigate with other people till I started this May 25th, 2001. But when Patty was talking about when we met and we did the St. Charles Ghost Tour and we joined Dr. Henry's group, that was in 2008. So I've been doing this for about 15 years, although there's been times I took a little bit of time off and came back. But yeah, with the grid too, we also took K2 readings at each point in the grid every 15 minutes. And that was how we investigated when we first started. Another thing, my favorite story though, is when we first started investigating, we didn't know where to go and we were learning what to do. We started investigating each other's houses. And I had bought, and I should go get it. I don't have it right now, but I had ordered a ghost box. This was probably in 2008 or 9 online. And it was like $50. And when I got it, all it was a transistor radio, like a handheld transistor radio. And somebody put a sticker on it that said ghost box. I got that thing in the mail and I was like, oh man, I got ripped off. And we started using it. I used it first at Patty's house and we put it on. I just put it on AM and set it to scan. And then my favorite time is we used it at our friend Elena's house in Spanish Lake, North County, St. Louis. And we've been investigating all evening and been getting little tidbits, but nothing major. And it was about 1 a.m. We were upstairs in this loft bedroom that was supposed to be very active. And Patty said, you know what? I'm getting bored with you. If you don't want to talk to us, just tell us to go home. And this thing said, please go home, you girls. And our eyes were
Girl. Yep.
Yeah.
And that
We
was
just
almost a
looked at each other.
growl. Yeah.
Wow.
That was amazing. And I was so happy that my ghost box, even though it was just a radio with a sticker on it, I was so happy that it worked, and I still use it. But that was my favorite experience, one of my favorites. And then we were afraid to leave our friend Elena, but she said she would be fine, if we all left, and because it told us to go home. So we did. But yeah, so just been investigating ever since. Well, and I took little sabbaticals here and there, but been on many adventures with these guys, and I'm just so thankful for their friendship and our adventures together.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun, and it still is, and it still will be going forward. That's awesome. That sticker thing you said, it sounds like it was one of what they called a shack hack. Where they changed one of the pins, I think, in the radio to force it to scan. And that was the precursor of the SB7s, and it was after the Frank's box. So it's kind of like in between, because I have one of those and mine's green. It's kind of thick. It's like a extra big transistor radio. So that's what it kind of sounds like.
You can do that with a boom box. That'd be kind
Maybe. I'm sure somebody could.
that'd be yeah, that's right.
You'd actually be able to hear it, right?
Yeah, because they're so hard.
Because that other one, that speaker's about that big.
Yeah. And I'm kind of half deaf, so I kind of need that, like the two big woofers on the side. I wouldn't put it on my shoulder like Karen was showing. We used guitar straps.
Oh, okay.
I never
very
did
good.
a big boom box. My parents wouldn't let me have one. I just had a little one that had a little cassette thing in the front. So it was little, so I could carry it right here.
Stereos. That's kind of hard to, carry two giant speakers. Oh my God. Andrea, that's pretty cool.
I had a big one with detachable
You had a
speakers.
fancified
Ooh,
one.
there you
Look at
go.
you.
I did.
I'm interested in hearing
My
Karen's
internet's going out
story.
again.
So one more question, Andrea. You say you've been tracking all
A
of
long
your
time.
adventures for
One.
what? Since 2008, you said?
Yes, yeah.
2001.
No, okay, I
Well,
wrote the wrong number down.
I got a big gap from 2001 to 2008. I just wrote down some stuff, and I started out as a skeptic in
No,
2001.
I'm busy.
So I wrote down some theories, and then I didn't do anything with this notebook. I only wrote on like 3 pages until January 25th, 2008. That was when I met Tina, a coworker at work. I was going to jewelry parties for just socialize with people to try to get to know people. And I think I asked somebody, do you want to go to a ghost hunting group with me? And they said, oh, talk to Tina. She likes that weird stuff. So I introduced myself to Tina and I said, do you want to join a ghost hunting group with me? And she said, no, let's form our own. So
It's
that was
true.
Even better.
There you go.
And then the first thing we did was the St. Charles Ghost Tour, started talking to Dr. Henry and said, we want to ghost hunt, but we don't know what we're doing. So he said, well, go on. So
We got a lot of perspective too with being a group of women. There were times that, people would be like, we'd go somewhere and they wouldn't get a lot of evidence. And then we'd go in there with just us women. And sometimes we could kind of play on that. We got more things happening. I know that when we went, we did with another group, we did a thing where men did a whole investigation. And then we came in, our group as all women, and did another investigation just to compare our notes.
Yeah.
And I think we won out with the investigation, even after Elena's little blooper that she did for.
So we do that on our team. We'll do things and generally just investigate willy-nilly, kind of like you do, go here, there, whatever. And then I'll split teams up and split them up, women and men, and have them in the building by themselves, do their thing. And we do, and yeah, we'll compare notes. It's funny because it is sometimes it's always sticks with one group more than the other group, but it hasn't always just stuck with women. Sometimes they don't talk to the women. Sometimes they just talk to the guys. We do that, and we'll do and I'll do like an EVP blitz at the end and type stuff, which is, it's funny. I like hearing other people's protocols. Kind of cool.
We also incorporated a lot of singing and music in our investigations.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Our best EVP, which I wish I could have found it in time, was actually not in Missouri. It was at Pollock Hospital up in, I believe it's Peoria. Somebody might need to correct me on that. But they told us in the morgue that there was a man who was perhaps simple or a little developmentally slow. And so we thought we'd start singing some children's tunes. And we had audible in our ears, not even afterwards, it was a recording also. But in our ears, we all heard him humming along with, I think it was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And so sometimes, and I'm trying to think of another time when we were using music, Andrea, that kind of got things rolling. Can you recall? I know that one was, oh, she's muted.
Yeah.
But anyways, music can help. Andrea, can you recall another indication of when music was helpful to get the spirits talking?
No, I only, I think I was only present. We used music maybe 2 or 3 times, but I know we were at Thistle and Clover, and somebody had said they had gotten somebody they thought was maybe French language, so we sang Frère Jacques, but I don't
That's
think
right. Yeah,
specifically from that. I don't recall.
But we did have a recording of questions in French, in case we decided ghosts didn't speak all languages once they've gone into their plane.
Good point. We don't know.
We don't know. So try some French. Maybe they're just more comfortable with French or Spanish. I know I would be more comfortable with English after I'm going to talk to somebody in the afterlife.
That was that show, Ghost Hunters International, right? You have all these English-speaking people in these foreign countries saying questions in English, and I'm like, the ghost is like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you never know. Maybe in the
thank you, guys.
afterlife, it's like universal. Every language you can understand. Who knows?
Yeah, or they hear you without ears.
That sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hearing in tongues.
Yeah.
I mean,
Possibly.
God. If we go by the theory
Karen.
that God created us in His image and God knows all languages, then wouldn't we know all languages once we pass on?
Don't dump me into some theological stuff here.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say
Why
yes.
not, Adrian?
Yes. Okay. Karen, how about you? Want to tell us a little bit about your past? No, about your
You don't need to know about my past.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Haunted,
We're
haunted.
gonna dig up them deep
Paranormal
dark
stuff.
secrets on you.
Don't open up
Well,
that box.
No, no.
No, Adrian, all those deep dark secrets are buried out back. So I guess it started for me when I was 3. And nobody in my family believed me. You know how that is. Nobody believes anything you say. But I remember waking up and a dark shadow was standing in my room. And ever since that had started, I started seeing things and hearing things, you know, throughout my life. I only started doing organized investigations with other people probably, well, it was when I first met you, Ken.
Really?
Was
Okay.
that about 10 years ago? Didn't we meet
Yeah.
at Bellefontaine when Steve LaChance and those guys were there? Were you there for that?
Bellefontaine Cemetery?
Yeah.
I don't know. I do remember re-meeting you at Al's Bigfoot search down in Robertsville.
Oh, right, at the campground. So there's a funny story. So
Yeah.
I don't know any of these people. Right?
There's a lot of funny stories
Yeah,
about that place.
we have a lot of funny stories. This funny story is I was supposed to have 2 girlfriends come with me for this camping weekend at Robertsville Park with all these people I didn't know, all guys. So my girlfriends backed out the day before. And I'm like, what could possibly go wrong? I can go camping with 10 guys I don't know. No problem. Yeah, I slept in my truck. But
Most
it was
people
really,
did. It was cold.
yeah, it was bitterly cold.
It was
But no,
cold.
it was a really good time. I thought you were at Bellefontaine. You don't remember me almost getting arrested in the cemetery?
No, I mean I've been to the cemetery a lot, but I don't remember
Okay.
that.
So this is when I started hanging out with different groups to do tours and stuff, right? I'd never done any of that stuff. Everything I did through grade school and high school was always on my own or with another friend. We'd go to a house that was haunted or a cemetery. But at this cemetery, I have to open every door and I have to look in everything that's closed because that's just me. I can't pass a closed door. So I'm looking in the urns and stuff. And I go to on one of the mausoleums, I'm goofing around and I go to pull the door open because I want to better look, and the door is wide open. They didn't lock it.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't know there were cameras everywhere. So I go bebopping in there and everybody in the group is like stepping back down the street, and I couldn't figure out what they were doing. I'm like, this is so cool in here. So then I'm like, well, maybe I ought to back out and close the door. So I backed out and closed the door, and right then park security comes flying up. What are you doing in there? And I'm like, well, obviously I'm finding out it's not locked.
You should have
so
went.
Yeah, you're right. I probably should have. But I met up with Patty and Andrea, about 4 years ago? Was it that long? Yeah, in a different group. And then we're doing our thing, which is great. Andrea and I have our, you know how people have Flat Stanley who travels with you? Well, Andrea and I have Flat Naf-Naf. Naf-Naf is a giraffe.
I know that, but I still don't know the story about that. But go ahead.
Well, this is me being up for 2 days and driving, and I'm trying to focus. And Andrea was talking about something with a zoo and a giraffe, I think with her granddaughter. And another friend of ours was in the back seat, and she had trouble hearing, so she kept hollering over everything. So I'm trying to concentrate on driving. And Andrea pointed out a sign that said Naf-Naf. She goes, look, Naf-Naf the giraffe. Or no, I said Naf-Naf the giraffe, naming it. And she goes, it's right there. That's the name of the restaurant is Naf-Naf, but it was a camel. So we were so tired, we were getting our camels and giraffes confused. And then we had to be there. You just had to be there. But
well, wasn't that on one of your roads?
So every time I'm in the car with them, Naf-Naf comes up, I'm like, I don't get it.
yeah.
Was that for Ashmore or Rhodes? One of the two that began?
Was it? Yeah.
Well,
I think it was
because-
Rhodes
it
who
Rhodes?
said.
Okay,
Yeah, that
because
was Rhodes.
Because I think they're
And all the roundabouts.
Yeah.
there you go, in Indiana, yeah, basically.
Yes.
And because I know on the way back from our trip up to Madison, there was I said, well, there's a NAF in Indianapolis, and you guys just busted out laughing, and I'm like, I have no idea what the heck. I said, it says NAF, what the heck? And all of a sudden you go NAF. I'm like, I have no idea.
That is our slogan. We're the NAF.
Okay,
But
that's
yeah,
your
but
new
we
name, there
had
you go. the
we,
Paranafs.
Paranap. There you go.
There you
We
go.
do have a lot of fun. We've tried some unusual things to get responses. At one house, I think it was the Davies house,
Mhm.
there was a lot of people kept saying that the gentleman that was haunting the attic was, kind of hostile and what have you. And but he was a partier. He had a hot tub up there. And I just always happen to carry a deck of cards. And I go, you know what? He's a partier. Why don't we play 21? Because I don't know how to play poker. And Ken set up all his little gadgets and his little, whatever you call them.
Spirit box.
Yeah, thank you. I actually have one. I just forgot what it was called. But so he set it up on the end of the table. And then we were playing cards. It was Andrea, Patty, Ken, and I. That's the photo that he posted for tonight, was all of us up there. And we started playing cards, and I'll be darned, the answers we were getting were, what was it, hold, pass, hit me, whatever.
Stop.
And then on,
Play.
and then on one, Patty, it was something you said.
I did. I
Because I
said, well,
said-
maybe. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, no, because I had so many cards. I had like 27 points showing, right? So I even stink at 21. And the spirit guy, same voice, started laughing because I said hold, and Patty goes, you ought to hold, you got 27 points laying in front of you. And then he started laughing on the spirit box. I'm like, that is not funny. Don't laugh
That
at
is
me.
really, yeah.
But the rest of,
There was a
He
female.
even won a
voice
couple of
also.
hands.
We were
yeah, he
letting,
did.
yeah, Ken had his backpack with the spirit box inside sitting at one end of the table. So that was the spirit. At first, Ken was helping him and he said, I'm not going to help you anymore. You got it now. You're going to play your own. So then the spirit box started saying, hold, hit me. And then one time there was a female voice that said, you should stay. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And then after that happened, the whole atmosphere in the house was no longer close and negative. It felt really comfortable. So that night, Ken gets to the bedroom, and the three of us are sleeping in, I guess it was a dining room or something.
Yeah.
And
Couches.
we're trying to sleep, and on couches. I'm laying there on the couch, and I kind of glance up at the kitchen, and I see somebody standing there. Well, I know Ken is still sleeping because I can hear him. And Patty and Andrea are snuffling over there and sleeping. I can hear little snuffles. And I look up, and it was just a real tall, dark shadow of a guy. And I was like, look, it was really fun playing cards, but we got a long drive back, so you're going to have to let me sleep, okay? And then and I told Patty about this, I think in the middle of the night, and then he just turned around and left, and that was that. But the place was really comfortable after that.
He basically did a spiritual, okay.
Okay.
They don't want to play anymore.
Basically,
Okay.
you made me, you quit when I finally won a game. That was because he won the last game and we said, we're tired. It's like, we've been playing for 45 minutes. Like, we're tired. So we quit. So that's probably him going, I'm so mad. I want to get a beer and I want to play some more.
Yeah.
Now, he wanted to get in that hot tub is what he wanted to do.
Well, maybe.
But,
Maybe.
You notice he wasn't in your bedroom bothering you.
I slept through everything.
well,
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't know. He might have been, but Ken didn't wake up.
No,
Yeah.
no. If
Do you
if
think
they-
he'd rather
if-
have three girls in his hot tub or Ken? Don't know.
I mean, we're not here to
Girls.
assume things, so.
Maybe he wanted Ken and three hot girls in the hot tub so he could watch.
Possible. Very possible.
But for Ken, it would have to be, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to pick on Ken.
What was that? Naff. That's my
Naff,
answer right
naff.
now. No. No,
I did want to.
it really was a fun adventure that night, because this was a
Mhm.
last minute thing. I think, Karen, I think you found that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, we had just come back from Madison, Ohio, and we were all driving around, and we kept meeting at different places. I said, okay, we're going to stay here tonight. Okay, great. So we'd all meet there, and Davey's house was I guess the last place we stayed at. So it was a lot of fun.
It was. It was a good trip. We've had a lot of fun, you know, as pals around and separately in different groups. But it's all been, well, for me, it's all about educational and learning new stuff from other people and different ways to do things, and being
And
accepting.
supporting the upkeep of those historical places, because without us helping out, I have fear. I mean, I live in a town along railroad tracks here, and I was born and raised here, and there are very few historical buildings left in this town because they wanted to clear out everything along the railroad tracks and put up the roads. And I spend my extra money on doing these sorts of things, and I'm hoping that for the most part, all of the owners, they're using it to put back into the buildings. And I appreciate them doing that, because I can't afford to go buy an old building
I
and
wish
do that.
I could.
Yeah, and I think,
So.
and I know we've all
Yeah.
donated money to several places. I mean, I know another place, Andrea, I think you've been there to Where Pigs Fly.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
we've all been out there for several things with Cindy. Matter of fact, I've already talked to Cindy, and she's going to be on the show at some point in the next couple of months with us, as soon as, you know, things quiet down for her a little bit out there. She's had a lot going on, but yeah, and we've actually, I mean, some of us actually put on a fundraiser for her a few years ago. We called it the Halloween Festival, and it was kind of a combination of us and her fall festival, I guess, right around Halloween. And combined, we think we brought in over $2,000 for that particular event. So, which was
That's
really
great.
fun. Yep. So yeah, we do support a lot of sites. So whether it's just from our fees we pay. Go ahead.
What fees? We don't pay fees. We don't pay fees.
No. I meant site fees, like
to go.
You know,
to go there. Okay. Yeah.
No group fees. No, that sucks.
No group fees. That stinks.
No group. Remember, we're all freely independent, so we try not to.
But when you do, what I was trying to say is, when you do a fundraiser for a location like that, like, you know, Cindy and I are pretty good friends at Where Pigs Fly, and you can even just do a fundraiser just on Facebook. I did one for her.
Yes,
was it last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did one late in the fall last year for hay. So I had stuff to donate, and Cindy had stuff to donate, and I think, and she'd have to correct me, but I think we got $1,500 for her towards the hay, just on doing Facebook.
Yes.
And then I tried to do a live, you know, hey, you won this, but somehow I didn't do it right. But anyway, people knew who won. They found out. That's all that matters.
Yeah, we have to.
But
we got to get some training from Robin.
Oh.
Yeah, how to do that.
Or Shaw.
Shaw can do it.
Yeah, but you know, things like that, just those little things like that can mean a lot. Yeah, I was even there this weekend with some other friends, Saturday night down at Cindy's.
Okay.
And what's hurting them right now is the drought. The drought's killing them.
Yeah.
Because she has no pasture, so she's having to feed hay now. So
yeah, I haven't been down there in a few months, but a lot of times I'll just go and I'll just donate. I'll, you know, put a wad of cash in the bucket for her before I leave, and she's like, "No, Ken, you don't. No." I'm like, "Too bad."
Yeah, you do too much. Shelly says you do too much.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Well, you want to go down.
My house is haunted, and therefore it's a haunted location. So if you feel the need to donate to a haunted location, a historical site of sorts, because I've lived here for long enough to be in history, so send me money.
Right here. We can do it right here.
Yeah.
I think I'm all about it.
Yeah, I know we were talking about you know, Madison Seminary too, that's up in Madison, Ohio. And I know the place that we ended up staying, another little tidbit here, the place we stayed was in Ashtabula, Ohio, and it was a bed and breakfast. We get there the first night, we were there for 2 nights. First night we get there and we discover the place is haunted.
Big
And
time.
Very haunted.
I mean, and the guy was interacting with us. I think there were 2 people there, but I saw the
There
guy
was an old
stand-
lady that used to try to watch me sleep there on the couch.
That's right.
She
I-
kept peeking out of the dining room at me.
Huh. I
Mhm.
wonder
Yep.
if she saw something
Yep,
over
and
you
then
or
the
something.
guy, well,
Well,
You
I
sure that wasn't Ken
I was
peeking
facing
up?
one direction where she was like looking this way over my back shoulder, and I was like, no, I'd rather be looking at my feet. So I switched my head to the other end of the couch.
oh, that's why you turned around.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know. Okay, so put your feet closer to the steps.
Mm.
No, to the
Was it
kitchen
the-
where she was
Oh,
coming
to the-
Oh,
from.
to the
Oh, okay,
kitchen.
to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But I had
It was
seen
a beautiful place, but soon as
It
we
was.
walked in, stuff started to happen, and it was like, okay, this is cool.
And then the guy showed, we're all sitting around
Bonus.
talking, and the guy's standing on the steps. I'm like, well, okay,
Yeah.
guys, I can tell you what he looks like.
Yeah.
So, because he was there just for a couple of seconds, but that was kind of a cool place too. But we have been to a lot of different places. Recently, we've been to the Cheney Mansion, and a while back we were at the Cheney Mansions in Illinois, about an hour north of us here, and we all live within an hour of each other, 45 minutes or so of each other. But the Vale Mansion, remember that one? And the what was it, the Bingham
Bingham Wagner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
And-
was an
and
And the
interesting-
Beatty Mansion,
Ba-
up in
right.
St. Joe.
Forgot about the Beatty. Yeah.
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 And I forgot to mention earlier, I wanted to make sure to mention the Glen House in Cape Girardeau.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
it
I forgot about that
was
one. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I
Yeah. I was in the kids' room and the little kids were pulling my hair and everything
Wow.
else. That was amazing.
I finally went into that place. It's down in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, along the Mississippi River, about
Mhm.
2 hours south of us here. And I went to that. I think I told you guys I went to that Strange Things conference last year back in August, and
Okay.
for the VIPs, we actually were able to go to the Glen House, and they had snacks and food for us and drinks after the event was over. A lot of fun. I never even made it upstairs. I brought my spirit box in, and when you go into the room, you guys have all been there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I go in the front, up the
Oh,
steps.
I have. Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
Okay, I go up the steps, go in the building, the room to the left where the music, I call it the music room.
Music room.
Right where the piano and all that stuff is.
The
Yeah.
piano, the harp, I think there was a harp in there, and
Yeah,
several
she had a
things.
phonograph in there. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and then a little outcropping, like a little window
Mhm.
settee
Mhm.
area. Well, I'm sitting there, and I got my spirit box going. The spirit box, the guy in the spirit box, we interacted for about an hour and a half. Everybody who would come in, he would say hello to. It was amazing. And then these, what was it? At the one point, this gentleman, no, there were 2 ladies came in, and the spirit goes, apparently he was just watching people come in. He goes, "Hello, you're pretty." And she goes, "Who just said that?" I said, "Oh, the spirit that's in this room." I said, and obviously he's referring to you, because wasn't the guy. So and she's like all embarrassed, but it was an amazing conversation. That place was really, really active. So I really would like to go back there sometime, the Glen House. And I
Mhm.
realized I know the person who runs it. I met her several years ago here in St. Louis at the Lemp Mansion.
So you're
So-
gonna get like a
One
thing,
place-
right?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
that
Gonna get that. We're gonna get that thing. Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yes. Got it.
There's one
Um,
place I wanted to mention. I guess they're still doing investigations in Missouri because I was trying to think of all Missouri places to share. If you heard of Windyville, has any of you
Mhm.
heard of Windyville?
Actually,
It's
I have
down
not.
near, is it Bennett Springs
Okay.
Park? And it's a little store, been there for 100 more years. And they have a little few rooms that they rent out, like a B&B. but the store's still open and running. So obviously you're just staying there after the store closes. And there was a lot of activity there too. Yeah. I remember sleeping and waking up and seeing someone, I call them pioneer women. I don't really know
Oh,
that they
yeah.
have the long dresses on and stuff like that, walking across the room. So it's active. And I don't know if they're still open for investigations, but they were a couple of years ago. Can't remember how many years right now.
Well, if it's a B&B, we
Oh.
could probably
Yeah.
do like
And
we've done a lot
the
of other
Scottish Rite
B&Bs.
Cathedral in St. Louis
Oh, yeah.
also is an awesome place to go.
Yes, it is. I've investigated there, and I've been trying to get us back into that, but
Yeah.
they're not doing any investigations right now. I think some group came in and just really irked the bigwigs.
Ruined it. Mm.
And so I've been trying to get back in. I've been trying for about a year and a half now, but hopefully soon. The other place, Patty, too, is the Fox Theater.
The Fox.
Fox
Mhm.
Theater is an amazing place too. Yep.
And I think I heard you mention Tri-County is falling apart, right? The truck stop. It's
Yeah.
pretty
the-
much.
Oh, yeah.
I talked to Greg a couple weeks ago. Actually, Karen, you and I talked to Greg and Sandy,
hmm
and they said that, yeah, it is just, it's about ready to cave in. So they're really, they're not doing much out there at all, if at all anymore.
It's too bad.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said they weren't, because I was hoping we could get back in at least one more time, and he said no.
Yeah, it's getting too
Darn it.
dangerous, he said, yeah.
hmm
But the Pythian Castle's
I-
good. DeSoto's good. Not DeSoto. What's it
Potosi.
called? Potosi. Potosi's good.
Potosi was great, but wait a minute. Let's hear what you guys thought of. Weren't you down at Ray County Museum?
Yes, yes, we were.
Mhm.
And I mean, I like it. I thought it was a really cool place.
It's very cool.
For me, there was a few personal experiences, especially in the World War II room. But then I had a really good conversation going, and then all of a sudden apparently I made a mistake and said some word that irked them. I said, oh my God, I said Normandy. And it got absolutely zero. It just went completely dead for the rest. I mean, I was in there for another 20 minutes. I got nothing, not even a
then
whimper.
You
And
guys
Shaw
can hear
came
the rest
in.
of it next week when we go over the whole thing.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
Gotcha.
it's
I
fine.
apologize. I
It's
apologize.
fine.
My bad.
No more.
That was I guess that was Shauna's version of
Well,
hush.
we're gonna be
Yeah,
going over
exactly.
all
Okay.
of this again next
Okay,
week. And I
well-
want
I got
people to
it.
be like, oh, well, we already did that.
Oh, it's a
Did you
really.
visit Hall of
Okay.
Water? Did
Oh.
you go to the
The
Hall
Hall
of
of
Waters while
Waters.
you were up there too?
No,
Because that's some place to visit
Ooh.
also here in Missouri.
up in Excelsior Springs.
Excelsior Springs, not too far from where you were. I had a
yeah.
friend
We'll
who had
just call it a
similar
teaser.
experience with the stick people.
Mhm,
I don't know what to
SLS.
call that. SLF. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm so technical, aren't I? Yeah,
I get lucky.
the stick people,
No,
you know? Yeah.
My family always used to vacation down around Cassville and Roaring River and in that area. Have you guys heard of any activity that goes on down there?
Not sure where
Hmm.
Roaring River's at.
And what's that near?
It's just north of the line from Eureka Springs.
Hold on a minute.
It's
No.
gorgeous. If you guys haven't been, you need to
That's
go.
part of the Ozarks, right?
Yeah, it's Roaring River
Ozark
State
region.
Park. Yeah. It's in the Mark Twain National Forest
Okay.
area.
Wow.
You need to go. It's gorgeous.
y'all went
It's
to the-
beautiful. I'm pretty sure there's some Bigfoot activity in that area too.
Probably.
I'm sure you all been to the oh gosh, I'm gonna mess this up. The Pythian
No,
Castle, is that how you say it? Yay!
Yes.
Pythian.
They are still they're still holding my gargoyle in the basement. Now, as soon as I can get them out and take them home, I'll be
I
happy.
was planning on going on the 11th for or the 10th for Veterans Day weekend, but after all the stuff that we're gonna be doing within the next couple of months, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to afford it.
Well, being that they housed prisoners there and they also used to have,
Right.
events, dances and all that in the movie theater, I think that Veterans
Yeah,
Weekend
and I
would be a
really
good weekend to
wanna
go.
because
Mhm.
that would be very interesting
Mhm.
to see. And it,
Huge place.
right, the weekend after that is when we're going to help me,
At,
McIntyre
we're
Villa.
going
Thank
to
you.
McIntyre Villa
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
on the 20.
So two
That
beautiful
place is
places in a
crazy.
row. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I gotta
Well,
convince
that's on the
people
24th.
AMOK to go with me on the 10th. Because you gotta at least have 8 people, and I would like to at least have 8 people that I know will investigate, and not just a stranger that just wants to go for a wild ride.
Where's that at?
It's in Missouri.
Mhm.
Where are you talking about?
Springfield, Missouri.
Are we
Oh,
going
Pythian?
somewhere near there on the 11th?
We're gonna be
Karen?
we're gonna be down at the Ozark, not about 30 miles from there,
Yeah.
for the
Was that-
morgue.
Was it the 10th or 11th that we were going there?
It's the 11. It's 11/11. It's when we're going to the morgue.
I was
November
gonna go on the
11th.
11th.
Right.
Oh,
but they
please!
were
After
filled
all that,
up.
yes.
They already filled up.
Mhm.
They weren't filled up on the 10th yet.
But the 10th is when you
That was
want to go to
when-
Pythian?
That was the only time available that I could possibly go. It's on a Friday.
So on a
Mhm.
Friday night. I already have the day off, so we'll be heading down to Ozark, and that's only 30 miles away.
Cool.
So
Sounds interesting.
Sounds fun.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see how broke I
I
am when I get
understand
back from our
completely.
trip at the end of the month, and then I'll let you know.
Well, okay, tell us about your trip, because I know about it, but I don't know
Okay.
everything about it. What's kind of your plan?
Andrea, go ahead and talk. You haven't talked in a while.
Okay, you're talking about our trip next month?
Yeah,
To Rhode Island?
to the
Yeah,
coast,
yes.
Okay, so we're flying into Boston. The first night we're staying in an inn in Connecticut. Hopefully that's haunted too. But the Friday night, the July 28th, we're going to be staying at the Conjuring
Ooh.
House, which I'm very excited to go there, especially since the main person that was haunted there is also named Andrea Perrin. The next 2 nights we're staying in an Airbnb, and I think Methuen, I don't know how you say that, Massachusetts, about 30 minutes outside of Salem. Hopefully we'll go to Salem and do some sightseeing. Then the last night we're there, I'm super excited about this. We're staying at the Lizzie Borden house in Fall River,
Sweet, you're gonna have
Massachusetts.
to
See how
tell-
dig on that.
you're gonna
That
have to tell
sounds
Johnny
crazy.
Hauser I said hello.
So yeah, it'd be. So I'm super excited. I've loved the story of Lizzie Borden since I was a little girl, and I was the kid that couldn't sleep at night, and I always had babysitters at night. So I had a babysitter that let me stay up late and watch TV. And I got up, and the Lizzie Borden movie with Elizabeth Montgomery was on, and
Oh, the best one. Yeah.
yeah,
That was good.
so but yeah, I'm super excited. So it's just 4 of us girls will be sleeping in the Emma and Lizzie suite.
Wow.
So I'm super excited.
Great. So it's
And
And
really
every
long.
place we're
Conj-
staying is old, so we have possibilities of things like what happened to us up in Madison.
Awesome.
Staying
Yeah.
in a haunted
And-
location.
And at the Conjuring House, we actually were able to have enough of our group that we rented out the whole house for the night, so none of the public will be coming in.
Oh,
So it'll
excellent.
just be us.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Aren't
going to
we
be awesome.
experiencing another all-girl investigation too?
No, Kelly said her dad might be coming. Poor guy's going to be
Oh.
so outnumbered.
Yeah, afraid so.
It was like the Hinsdale house.
So the 8 of you going?
No, it's 12 of us, isn't it? Or 10 of us? How many?
They had
12, thank you.
Well,
For the Conjuring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Yes, that they invited me to go along, but I can't do another long trip like that this time because wedding coming up in October with my daughter. So like, nope, can't do it. But next year we're talking maybe Gettysburg, right?
Gettysburg's on the
That would be
And
awesome.
We're
Right.
also going to the
Maybe
Villisca
next-
Axe
we're
murder house.
Say, but
Oh, that's awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go there. I haven't
That'd be
been.
Great.
Me neither.
Adrian, you try to chime in there?
no, I was just saying, y'all girls are woo woo, right? You're woo
Woo
woo.
woo.
Are y'all woo woo?
Well, let's just say we're not possessed, so I guess we're not
Oh!
Christians. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, that's it.
Right.
No, I'm saying, I'm saying, but you're all
Like, you're
woo woo,
sensitive.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So I just want
Sensitive abilities.
yeah,
Well,
everybody.
they keep telling me I am. So
I put that whole
You
I
are.
say woo woo because everybody's got a different version of what they call it. So it's all woo woo to me. But I would think that going to someplace like
Oh,
Gettysburg
no.
would make your head spin around. Who'd we
Did
lose?
we lose?
We lost
Oh.
Patty.
Patty, I just saw her freeze up. So
But I would think that would a place like that with so much because I'm not sensitive, but even when I was walking through Gettysburg, there was a feeling about it. I don't know if that would.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Atmosphere. Yeah.
like,
and as soon as you said head spinning, the first thing I thought of was The Exorcist,
no,
which happened,
a different thing.
here in St. Louis.
Part of it.
Well, the
I'll bring
majority of
some
it.
green pea soup and then I'll do that. No.
Yeah, you can turn your head all the way around. So, oh my God, Karen. No. Anyway.
That
Where
was
were
just my question. That's all.
Yep, she's back.
Is she back?
I think
Patty.
she's about
There she
back.
is.
Yes.
There she is. She's back.
What
Welcome back.
happened? I don't know. All of a sudden, you all froze.
No,
Oh.
you
Yeah,
just
it's all your
disappeared.
fault, not ours. I'm
Oh,
just
sorry.
Well, we disappeared from you, but yeah.
The woo woo.
It was all
yeah,
that
the
woo-woo
He
talk.
said woo
That's
woo.
a woo
Right,
woo talk.
right.
Well, I just wondered because we have a historical site here that I've had people walk around and they say that just makes their head spin around. But that's just Judge Parker's courthouse. There's battles all over the place. I mean, we had a Mazard Prairie battle, and there are battlefields all over this area, as you know. So I just wondered when you go to like a major battlefield, if that like Gettysburg, if that stuff just makes you just go kind of, I mean, crazy is not the word I want to use, but I would think it would make your head spin around.
Well,
In Franklin, Tennessee, my sisters lived there for years. Obviously, the Battle of Franklin and a couple of houses that were used for hospitals and things like that. I'd say the most I experienced there was overwhelming sadness.
There she goes.
Just
She said sadness and
darkness.
darkness.
Hear me?
Okay.
didn't hear any
Wow.
of that, or
Sadness.
yes. But those are, I mean, Tennessee, Franklin. I mean, there was a
Shooting
hubbub
alien.
of battles.
Wow. What?
Didn't alien.
you know, and
Yeah.
I know the last 3
I feel like I'm
weeks-
missing
Yeah,
the joke
you
somewhere
are.
here. I'm not
Hey,
hearing it.
Adrian called you an alien. Because you keep going in and out.
Oh,
y- y- you're breaking up. Yeah.
We heard sadness and
Okay.
darkness, and that was it.
just that it was a
Yeah.
battlefield that, obviously a civil war was, so, but
Pretty-
yeah.
Pretty crazy. I was just, Adrian, you just asked that question about, battlefields. I was at Wilson Creek about 3 weeks ago. I was in Lexington battlefield this past weekend. And I felt some sadness, but I really didn't feel much at all at either one of those places. But I think Karen, I believe you were there in Fayette. Well, yeah, I know you were
Mhm.
in Fayette.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that- and
I
that
was
was a-
hoping you were going to bring this up.
I brought it up. I'm going to self-incriminate here.
No,
but
no,
any-
I'm glad. I'm glad.
But anyway, Fayette, that was another battlefield, a skirmish there with Quantrill's Raiders and Bloody Bill Anderson, and we had a lot of experiences there. And I know Steve and I are going to talk about this at some point in the near future. One of these months coming up, but we had a lot of crazy experiences there. especially with the battlefield quadrangle, I'll call it, which is part of the college, Central Methodist University. That's where it all happened.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
All the
place.
stuff that happened there. Just all the the touches, the noise, the whispering in your ear, the laughter out in the middle of the room. That was an active place. I wish we could still get in there.
One of
I
the
wish
one of
we
the
could,
outside
too.
investigations we did was just up north of us, Prairie Grove, and it's I guess one of the battles that was in the blue and the gray and all that stuff. It happened around a house, but like I said, I'm not woo-woo at all, but I'm there and standing at the next to the house where the major portion of the battle was happening, and apparently according to what was written about it, it was basically just like raining lead, and people were hiding behind the bodies of their comrades to block the bullets from them. And I'm just standing there and I get overwhelmed by the thought of what was happening there. The same thing happened when I was at the Arizona Memorial. It just hit me. So I just wonder how it comes across to somebody who's got an ability.
The fact that you felt those things means you have abilities.
I think everybody's empathic if they're looking at the magnitude of what happened and the idiocy of war. So you're sitting there and you're thinking about these people just, getting cut up. I'm that way when I see things like that. So it's not necessarily that I'm sensing anything. It's just the knowledge
Patty
of what
Negri
happened there. So I just
says
wanted.
that everybody is a little bit psychic somewhere.
I'm a sidekick, but I'm not psychic.
Everybody is. It's just
the
the
situation.
thing is,
the
do you accept
situations and
it
how
or
they
not?
grow up and stuff.
Well, do you accept it?
Well,
or do you
that
block
also
it?
goes to show, like me, though.
It's not pick on Adrian. I was just making a statement. I truly believe that everybody has the ability to communicate, whether it be just, you could call it just in your head talking to someone who's gone, like, oh, Mom, I had the worst day and Mom's been gone 10 years, whatever. And it makes you feel better when you have that conversation, even if it's just inside your head. It's a very small step to actually feeling her presence, in my mind anyway. But everybody can do those things that self-soothe and or open themselves to empathetic feelings with loved ones. At least for me, that's the way it makes sense. So you just open up your world. If you just open up your world a little bit more, you might have strangers reach out to you.
Yeah. I'm pretty close.
Yeah, I was going to say, Patty.
But there's kind of a story with that, I guess. But I'm pretty closed up right now.
Are you a good listener?
Huh?
Are you a good listener?
Perfect answer.
That's just reflection.
Okay, 1 point.
Now, Adrian has a good reason to be careful, I guess, and close. But as for what you said, Patty, about don't pick on Adrian, please, everybody pick on Adrian.
Yep.
That's how I know you love me. That's how I know you love me.
Right.
Andrea, what else you got? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I just remembered when we went to the Bingham and Wagner house in Independence. I remember we heard that sound outside of Grandma's room. Remember they were
the sigh that I cannot. Do you have it?
No, I didn't have a recorder going. I think you were recording.
And I can't find it.
We had been there all night, and it was about 11 o'clock at night, and I think it was hot. The air conditioning wasn't working on the second and third floor.
Yeah.
There was a second floor and an attic, and I was kind of wiped out and done. But I think Karen said, "Oh, let's go up to the attic. We haven't done the attic yet." And it's like, okay, we'll go to the attic. And they said that it was Grandma's room was right at the bottom of the stairs on the second floor, and that she was kind of cantankerous. And so I'm walking up. I'm first. I'm walking up the stairs, and they go up and they go around to the right. And then Karen, I think you were behind me, and then Patty was
Mhm.
bringing up the rear down on still on the second floor. And we heard this
Just real disgusted,
Wow.
clear
Scott.
as day. Yeah. Yep.
And Patty and I both look at each other. What? Because we thought the other one was disgusted, right? And then when we played it back on the recorder, you could hear it, and it was the grandma that Ken had been communing with earlier
Oh, and
that was
one
just
room.
disgusted with us coming. Yeah, it was that room.
And
Because
then-
we
That
said
was
we're
so
gonna do
funny.
one- because we said we're going to do one more room, like she thought she was done with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Keep going with
Gotcha. Was that the place where the cat balls were lost? Or was it the other one?
No, I think that was the place where my balls got lost. Yes.
Yes, okay,
Awesome there.
because they were playing with the balls down in the basement, okay? We'll just say it that way. And Karen lost one of them. And we're getting ready to pack everything
No,
up.
there was two. There was two.
Oh, two of them.
I
okay,
couldn't
two of them.
find two of them, and I was like, "Where are they?" And what did you say? You said they're going to be.
You came in and you're all you're looking everywhere, tearing everything apart. And I said, Karen, they're going to be exactly where they're supposed to be, where you're trying to put them. And you're like, yeah, right. And you just kept looking for them. And then about 20 minutes later, you came back and I go, "Did you ever find balls?" And you go, "They were right where they were supposed to be. They were in the case. They were in the case."
Yeah,
but they
it was so
disappeared
weird.
in the basement.
Yeah, they did.
And they
And
were gone
I
for
found
3
them.
hours.
Right. I found them when we were packing up to leave, and I opened up the thing, and I'm like, on my bag, and I'm like, they're right there. That was so weird.
That was
Yeah,
Grandma
I'm
trying to
like,
get rid of
"All
us
right, let's
faster."
pack you guys up and go."
She goes,
And
Yeah.
and
she
the
goes,
similar,
"I took your balls, now leave."
there you go.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'll help you pack. Just get out.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
And a similar thing happened to Michelle at Dr. Uggs. It was another place we
Right.
all went to. What?
Well,
month
I
and a
didn't
half?
go. I missed that one. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry,
April,
a
I
couple months
think.
ago. But
Yeah, April, I think.
okay,
April.
Mm-hmm.
and there were upstairs. There were these 3 beds in this giant room, just with little dividers between them. But Michelle had put one of the cat balls on the bed and let it sit there for a while, forgot it, and then we're getting ready to pack everything up. Same type of deal, and everybody's going nuts with flashlights trying to find this silly thing. And they looked over at me and have you seen it? I said, I can tell you right now, it's where it's supposed to be, in her purse. And nobody believed me. So they're all still looking for her. 20 minutes later, actually the next day, I got a call from Michelle. I said, "Do you ever find that thing?" She goes, "Yeah, but I left 2 pieces of equipment there." I said, "I've got those. So I'll bring those to you." But she said the cat ball, she found it in her purse. So
Wow.
spirits do that.
I
And
did
what
not
was it?
know that.
And I think I told you guys, I think you've probably seen my post 2 weeks ago. I'm leaving the Pythian Castle, or not, well, the castle, but the place I stayed on Sunday morning. And I always keep crystals in in both pockets, different ones. And I had a piece of citrine in there and I put it in reverse, backed up, and I feel something fall right behind my back from the ceiling. I'm like, what the hell? Is it a bug? It was a big bug. I figured, like, great. So I put it in park, reached back. I'm like, I'm afraid I'm going to find something gooey, but I pulled it out. It's my piece of
Wow.
citrine. I never take it out of my pocket. So how did it get above me and fall behind? I don't know. That's the
Wow.
kind of things that, they can do. They can hide things on you. You guys have mentioned that. They hide things. You can go
Or they
weeks, months, years.
They can change you. They can change the way you look too.
That's right.
Hey, we've
Yes,
never
you
we've
had
never
that
found our
last week.
friends. Yeah, we've never
sorry?
found our friends recorder at Ashmore.
Ashmore is an
Really? Okay.
amazing place.
Don't you?
That place.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to tell you this one thing that happened at Ashmore. I'm walking down the hallway with another investigator. And I don't know if you've heard, but there's a little girl who makes her presence known quite frequently. And I have small grandchildren, and I remember very distinctly feeling a little hand grab just 2 of my fingers, because little kids can't always hold your whole hand, right? grabbed two of my fingers as we're walking down the hall. And I was afraid to stop walking, but I didn't want to walk too fast or too slow because I didn't want it to end. But she literally grabbed both my fingers. That's on one of my top 10 of my experiences investigating.
That's pretty cool.
It was
That-
very cool.
Yeah, that was another question I had was, well, we've kind of touched upon, scariest or weirdest or whatever experiences. I think everybody's mentioned something. Favorite location, and then maybe some of the methods you really like to use.
Well, can I go with the scariest thing that's ever happened to me?
Go for it.
And I don't know, maybe you guys can help me with this. So it was when my son was in the military. So at this point, my mom was passed. So it's just me in the house, right? Me and the Labrador. And I'm sleeping, and I always slept with my bedroom door open and all the lights in the house are out. But I left the bedroom door open so the dog could get out and get to his water. And the dog always slept on the floor right by my bed. So I'm sleeping, and then something wakes me up. And over my body, from head all the way down to my toes, is this heavy red mist. And how I can see it is there's like a glow coming in my doorway, not like a light is on, but like my hallway is lit up. And at first I'm thinking sleep paralysis, right? But the dog is sitting here next to me growling at whatever this is, this mist that's hanging over me, this red mist. And then the mist starts going out the door and down the hallway that's still lit up. Like I said, I had no lights on in the house. And then when it got all the way, I guess, to the end of the hall, the lights went out, everything was dark. Well, at this point, I jump out of bed. So stupid me, I'm thinking intruder. Right, yeah, if there's a red mist intruder, pretty much you're not going to be able to beat it up or call the police and have it arrested. But my dog was having a fit that entire night. So what do you think that was?
Alien.
Aliens, yeah.
Seriously?
No, I mean, I'm serious. It really
I'm
happened.
serious, too.
And
No, I'm not being funny. Serious. That's first impression I got.
so apparently it didn't want me because it just left.
I already got what it needed.
Well, I didn't even get a kiss. But
All right,
yeah.
name or
No, I mean, I
anything?
was so scared. I couldn't.
I'd have been upset too.
Yeah, it was just the weirdest
Karen,
thing, though. I just
I'm
felt
not
like I was
making fun.
drained. No, I know, but I felt like I was just drained. I was so worn out from that. So I guess maybe it was an energy vampire. I have no idea.
Could be.
But that was the creepiest thing I ever remember happening to me. And I've had a lot of stuff happen, but that freaked me out.
Wow.
That is kind of weird.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
That was a good one. I don't think I've ever
first-
heard that one, Karen. I'm glad you shared it today.
First
I
impression
haven't-
still was alien for me.
Yeah, and I haven't told very many people. I told Mike Ricksecker one time because, we used to, he and Shauna and I used to hang around and a little bit. And I brought it up to him and he goes, well, I want the whole story for one of my books. And I'm like, yeah, no, I really don't want that out there. I just, it's my thing. So I'll
Yeah,
keep
There's
it.
only a
billion
billion
people.
people watching tonight, so don't worry about it. It's
But
it's
we're
totally
happy
private.
that you chose us to reveal it to.
No, I think exactly. Seriously,
Absolutely.
That
I've
is
never heard the
awesome.
story, Karen, and
Yeah. Me neither.
we'll have
Yeah.
to delve into that some more later. Seriously.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
maybe we can get you guys
Okay.
back on. We're 15 minutes over the time. Sorry, Adrian. We know how punctual you are.
No, that's right. Because I get in trouble.
And then he'll,
Tina, he's
Sorry,
sorry. It's
Tina.
our fault.
oh.
Hi, Tina.
But
It's all Adrian's
y'all have
fault.
anywhere that people can
Yeah, she
talk to
probably
you
does.
at if you want people to chit chat with you or
We do. I had a chat site and I have turned it into Paranormal
Aw.
Friends Forever. And I invite anybody who wants to have input, just, it's totally open forum for anybody to discuss things, share things. We do a lot of sharing, I'd say, is the majority of the stuff that we have on there right now. But there was always this protection of my evidence in some groups that I've encountered in the
passed. And I think I like the idea of sharing this type of stuff as we came to this event without any evidence, but we just couldn't find it. It wasn't that we weren't willing to share it.
We didn't
But
pre-rehearse.
yeah, I
either.
mean, yes, it's called Paranormal Friends Forever. So look for it on
Nice.
Facebook.
Well, all right.
It's a good group. Anything else you want to add, Andrea? Or
I'm not I guess I was thinking about, you asked methods of investigating, and we haven't done this too many times, and I was really surprised at the outcome that we had. But one of our friends had moved, and she was having issues with a spirit at her new house, and a couple of us went over to her house to help her out. And Patty and I investigated. We sat in a room in the dark, and Patty sketched, and I just wrote down what I saw, and we got the same thing. We got a woman with a white nightgown, with her hair. I think I saw her with her long hair, and Patty saw her with her hair in a bun or something. But it was similar stuff, and we did the same thing in the basement, and we got the same thing. We both got the same thing independently in the basement. We both got an angry
That's
man.
cool.
I remember seeing like a yellow sweatshirt. He was very angry. He would like punch the doors and the walls and things like that. But we tried that a couple times, but I think that was the most that we connected, was that night, was that you and I, we got the same.
And I think it
stuff.
had to do with that we were trying to help a friend, because the other times that we've tried it has been at places that we weren't connected to in any way. And so we try, but it is still, I think, another method to sketch or free write, things like that.
kind of like automatic writing, or just
What's in her head or what she sees.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just write down what I sense or what I'm picking up.
Okay.
Thanks.
Excellent.
And we
Okay.
also used my dog Juno, who's now since passed a few investigations. And I actually remember one time when we got a voice calling, and what was cool was I didn't hear the voice until later on the recorder, but all of a sudden she was always right by my side, and she just took off running down the hallway. And then all of a sudden she stops on a dime and turns around and comes running back towards us. And obviously somebody that was calling her, when she got there, she didn't want to stay. She turned around and came back. And but yeah, I've had many pets. I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, except for Karen, who just mentioned it, having the pets interact with things that we've encountered. So I kind of think
it happens here.
Mhm.
It happens here a lot, even with the new dogs and our cat. It drives me crazy though, because they'll all sit and stare at one wall in my hallway, and there's nothing on the other side of the wall, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Let's let it go. Let it live its own life.
Yeah.
Wonder if there used to be a window or a door there.
Nah. Now this house is only like 53 years old, 54, and I'm the second owner, so
Okay.
no
I
window,
think
no door.
there's probably somebody standing there. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Dog's
yeah.
eyes probably got treats.
Yeah. More than likely.
Yeah. Ways to investigate. I know one thing that Bev and I tried, Bev Grimm tried, was, and I can't remember which mansion it was at. I want to say Stone Mansion, but we did dueling divining rods. So not really dueling, but we would ask one question, and we would both hold the rods to see if the answer would come out the same each time.
Wow.
Okay.
If we both got a yes or a no. Another thing that we've tried, and I'm really bad at remembering where we've been. Sorry guys, my dementia's bad, but playing music, period music, to where you're at.
Yeah.
So if it's classical or if it's jazz or whatever, playing music in the background, like on your phone. And then just what we did, like at the Davies house, always be welcoming. You're there as a guest. You're not there to investigate and interrogate. I hate that. We should be there as guests.
Correct. And treat
Yeah.
them like
Exactly.
family, treat them like friends.
Mhm.
Basically.
Oh, I'll treat them like, if I treat them like family, they're never gonna let us
Oh,
back.
so we all been in trouble that night. I gotcha. You know, you were talking about music too. I'm sorry, but you were talking about music. Remember CMU when
Yes.
we found out the conductor, the music conductor in the assembly hall actually died during a performance, had a heart attack and died immediately, and fell, and they continued the music until it was over. And I think they still had about another minute or two left for the song or for the
Right.
music. We decided to play it, what was it, around midnight or so, out there on the steps nearby it. And so we're playing the music, and then all of a sudden we got to that point in the because we knew where when he died. When it got to that point of the music, that gust of wind,
Right, I remember that. That was
it was like
amazing.
30 miles an hour wind, and it just kind of snaked around us, and it stayed until the last note.
Huh.
And then it disappeared.
Yeah.
And this was inside?
Outside.
Oh, outside.
Oh,
We
okay.
were outside, sitting outside of the auditorium, the assembly hall. Yeah.
That whole place down there, every place we were in that town was just amazing.
Totally amazing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I use music a lot, especially like at the Lamp Mansion. I'll play the old Bach, and they don't like Beethoven very much, but Bach for sure, and they'll start interacting with you. And that's someplace we're going to go soon. I'm going to try to get something set up for all of us. Hopefully maybe January, February. So maybe my birthday, maybe in March.
We
could do it
in January for my birthday.
We could.
Yeah, there we go.
We could. And not go to Karen's this time. So we won't talk about that.
Oh no, it's a restaurant, guys.
Once
It's a
is enough
restaurant.
for that. Once is enough.
Karen,
Yeah.
and Jack,
Yeah, once was enough. Yeah, I agree.
everybody in there is a Karen.
Yeah, it was.
Except
crazy.
I almost got up and punched our waitress
I have
out.
a
But
Karen
yeah.
that's a friend
Uh,
too, and don't we get enough of the other Karens in the United States? I mean, why do they have to have a restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so
Yeah.
mad at the way she was treating Patty and Andrea, and I was just like, and then poor Andrea didn't even want to change her order or order dessert or anything, and I was like,
I wanted dessert. I was terrified to ask for it.
There was another restaurant like that, but it's all the waiters and waitresses, and I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's on the East Coast. I want to say it's just a name, y'all, Dick's. So that and you go in, and the minute you go in, they're cussing you
That's
out. The
funny.
minute you go into the door, and then when you ask for a table, they're cussing you out as you go to the table, and yeah.
Same as
that's what
Karen's.
this was like.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much what it was like.
Oh yeah.
And every waiter, waitress, owner, everybody in that place was named Karen. Everybody.
That's funny.
It didn't matter, male,
Oh,
female.
that's
They were
awesome.
all named Karen.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would feel totally
So, I think it's
awful
big
with
down
that
in,
job.
what, Australia?
I couldn't do that job.
Wasn't
Yeah,
there
couldn't be
wasn't there a place in Tulsa, a restaurant? It was called like what was it called? Molly Murphy's?
Yeah,
Or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. Yeah.
I never
Do you remember
went.
that? It was along the same lines. People were just really rude. I didn't
I'll
either,
have
but
to
I
ask
remember
my
hearing
hubby
stories about it.
and see what he says. He's from here, so he'll know more about it than me, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. He may not, but I'll ask him.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
All right, guys,
give
we
you
gotta
a
watch.
All right.
We gotta
Say
wrap
thanks.
this up.
Yep. Thank
Okay.
you all for joining us tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
Well,
It's been fun.
Thanks
No
for
problem.
asking. It was fun.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
Next week.
We'll do it
Next
again
week
sometime in the
Anytime.
is the
future.
pre-record of the Ray County Museum. We're gonna post our findings, chit chat a little bit, and talk about the investigation. Yay! But it is a pre-record because it's 4th of July. I
Yay.
don't want to be here on 4th of July. I mean, I love you guys, but I like my I love
that's
my
right.
daughter.
That's right.
and my son. But right,
We're gonna
wanna
blow things up.
So,
Yeah, we have to go
so
to
next
Right.
week is pre-record, but after that's gonna be Pam. We're gonna start all over again.
Yeah, we're gonna have Scott
Ooh.
Rademacher from Kansas Sightings
Sweet.
on.
And
Excellent.
Yep.
when it's back to my turn, I'm going to have Martha Hazard Decker because she'll be speaking at the Arkansas Expo. So looking forward to really
Nice.
talking with her because she's a pretty interesting
Sweet.
character herself.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
And then
Not
it's
as
my
interesting as we were, though.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Bye, everybody.
Nice.